Jeanine the floor. I'm here with Jaisimha. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we'd love to hear a little bit more about your startup story.
So I started my company, Open Mobile Solutions, largely thinking about people that are, everyone is trying to go out there and build a mobile presence or build mobile apps, but they struggle with understanding how to actually navigate the ecosystem. So about 2 years ago, I was here speaking at TiEcon and just leaving a job at AOL, and got a lot of advice from people here saying, hey, the message you have is powerful. People need people like you to guide them through the process of actually going mobile. And so our thought process was, hey, can we take what we know and automate it, turn it into something that's self-service? It's a marketplace that actually allows people to complete the process of going through going mobile before they potentially have a business case for it. Sometimes there's a need to do it. They feel like it's something they should go do. So we started the company roughly 2 years ago, and we've been making progress ever since. So we're one of the, we were up for a TiE 50 Mobile Award this year. Didn't quite make it, but it was really encouraging to be a finalist nonetheless. So.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So you've been doing this for a while. What type of experience do entrepreneurs need to help get their startups off the ground? And what do you think that their key criteria should be to be successful?
I think a lot of startups are started by technologists, by people who come from a technology background, and they go through the process of actually building something first and then trying to validate the demand for it. There's a process. There's a guy called Stephen Gary Blank who wrote a book called 4 Steps to the Epiphany. It was really inspiring to me, where he talked about iterative processes for both building products and validating them at the same time. So I think that's something that I feel like is a really important thing that people miss. The other thing is really, there's no substitute for doing.
Okay.
You've really got to get going, take one small step at a time. There's always something you can do if you really want to do it, and funding will eventually show up. We bootstrapped our company for 18 months before the first investor wrote a check, and
wow.
And we didn't stop being honest with why an investor should or shouldn't invest in you. An impressive resume and a nice PowerPoint slide deck don't cut it anymore, and so you have to prove to investors you know how to execute, and the only way to do that is to actually execute. So.
Okay, great. And so you've had a lot of startup experience. What pitfalls would you advise startups to avoid, especially within your space?
Within my space, within the mobile space, I think understanding what your business goals are up front. So if you're trying to build a mobile app or a mobile app-based business, who's going to buy it, and how will you actually monetize it? Because a lot of people come up with a cool idea. They think of it from a consumer perspective without ever thinking about whether, are there other analogs that people are paying for? If they're not going to pay for it, are you going to support it with advertising? How are you actually going to monetize it? Because ultimately, that's the ticket to freedom is actually have a business that makes money, that does what it's supposed to do. And I think that's something people sometimes don't spend enough time on up front.
Right.
So.
Okay, well, Jay, thank you so much for your time.
Well,
Appreciate
thanks
you being
so much
here
for having
today.
me.